Welcome to one of the many circle sessions hosted by Wonder Girls. Wonder Girls is a nationwide classrooms movement. We bring relatable female role models into classroom settings through our circle sessions. As you will see, the crux of these sessions is its dialogic nature. We're currently working with classrooms across 7 Indian cities and continuing to grow. Our aim is for every adolescent in India to have access to relatable female role models. I welcome you once again and hope you enjoy learning from our role models' life journey and career path.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, welcome to Shruti for being here, and I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to facilitate this space. So, I just want to start off by introducing the speaker itself, right? So, to all of us who are there here, I think we all know that she is a badminton player and she has been representing our country internationally. She holds a ranking of 143 in women's singles as per the BWF World Championships. Shruti has been playing badminton from an age of 6, and she's been playing it as a recreation first, and then she fell in love with the sport, and then that became her passion, and she has been playing both at the national and an international level, and she has also been coaching people along the way, right? So, welcome Shruti once again for joining with us. A little bit about the students also who are here, right? So, the students that you're going to interact today are across grades 8th to 10th, and we are all from New Madhu High School, which is in Secunderabad, in the near Pasigutta area, right? So, yeah, I think we will begin. The first two questions, I will lead the first two questions. I will set up the space. We will try to cover maximum of what all students have asked you, and then I will start tagging students and they will come up with their questions and they will interact with you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. So just a very good morning to all of you, and I'm really glad to be a part of this initiative. Also, it's going to be a great session interacting with you all.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Shruti. All right, so the first question that I would like to ask you is, what is your story? So when did this recreation convert into a passion? When is it, what made you choose badminton, what made you choose a sport career, and what made you choose badminton in particular? So if you could talk about that, yeah.
Sure. So, like I said, I started at the age of 6 just as a recreation sport. My father used to play in school. So, I think they thought that maybe I can have a shot in this sport. So, ever since I started, slowly I started to like the sport. And even when I was a kid, I would never like to miss a day. So, my mother used to take me every day. I used to play at Pune Club. So the first 9 years that I played in the same academy, the same club. So I don't think my mother always tells me I never let her go out or miss a session because I wouldn't like it. I used to cry if she told me that she wants to go out today and she couldn't take me to play. So I think that was the point where I felt that I really love this sport and I want to play it. And like I was a very sporty child, and all my friends used to call me a tomboy. So I would play any sport. So when I was a kid in the society, I used to play cricket with the boys. I used to go cycling with my friends. I used to play badminton. So I always had that inclination towards sport from a very young age. So I was ready to play any sport, but since I had started badminton, I always felt that, and I wasn't a very studious kind of kid or not very interested in studies. So I think when I was really young, like your age, all of you, seventh, eighth standard, I had told my parents, I don't want to study, I just want to play. And I never had an inclination towards science, math. So I think that time only I told them, all I'll do is I'll just study commerce, because when we were kids, it was that mindset that science is for studious kids, commerce is okay, it is doable, it's time pass, you can just do it. So I always told them I'll do commerce, I'll play. And I used to be so happy being on court full time. After 9 years, my mother, I was in the 10th standard when I started going by myself. And since then, I slowly started saying that, that I want to just play badminton. I'll just study, yeah, but I'll complete my graduation. But yeah, I want to play. And slowly, I started liking the sport. I started doing well in small tournaments, and then I knew that all this is all that I want to do. There have definitely been a lot of ups and downs, not an easy journey, but yeah, I was ready for that, and I was adamant on being a player and doing something in the sport. So that's how I started, and that's how it's going on till now.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So I would start tagging students now, and there are so many questions.
Mm.
You must have gone through those questions. So I would start off by tagging G Rakesh from 10th
Okay,
standard. If you can go ahead.
sure.
Hi, good morning, ma'am. First of all, we sincerely thank you for joining us here today. Your generosity and thoughtfulness are very much appreciated. We are excited to have you as our speaker today. Once again, we all thank you for spending your precious time with us. Now, I would like to ask certain questions, ma'am.
Sure.
What are some of your strengths?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah. That,
my next question is that we would love to hear this response from you, ma'am. What are some of your weakness? Were you able to work upon it? Then how?
okay. So, from the game point of view, or like general, for me as a person, I would consider that I'm always ready to help everybody, be it the sport or outside. So I think, and that's what kind of inclined me towards coaching, and just being there for people and trying to help them out. And if you take it in the game wise, like game sense, then I'm a left-handed player. So a lot of left-handed players have a very natural style and a good flow to play and a good instinct. So that's what kept pushing me and helping me work towards my goal. And if I talk about my weaknesses, as a kid, I was a very, thin child and not very strong. And mentally, I had a lot of things to work on in the mental aspect. Being very emotional and sensitive and short tempered, those were the main issues. Like, be it on court or off court, those are the main things that I had to really work upon. So slowly, as I kept growing older, I started doing physical training, weight training that helped me gain a little more strength for on court. And then for the mental aspect, it took me a while, but then I knew if I had to go ahead in the game, I had to work on my mental health. So I had to decide that, because on that aspect, if you're not mentally in place or not mentally fit, you cannot play however good you are. So that was one thing that I had to really work upon. So I started seeing a psychologist. I started putting in that effort by myself, because just seeing a psychologist and just listening wasn't going to help until and unless I started putting that effort by myself, or until I decided that I really want to work upon it and I want to come over my weaknesses. That was one turning point for me, which really helped me in my career and to get me where I am today.
Thank you so much for sharing that, ma'am. And thank you, Rakesh, for starting us off with such a good question. Can I tag Geeta Lakshmi next to go off?
Well, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. It
Didi,
was
can I share
a
the?
good question. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tagging Geeta Lakshmi. She's going to share next. Do you have other questions, Rakesh?
No, Didi.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
So I'm Geeta Lakshmi. I'm gonna ask you a few questions now. When you are at our age, what you thought you will become, like a shuttle player or like other any games or teacher like that? What you thought?
So yeah, like I said, when I was a kid, I was always ready to play any sport that was up for me. And since I was practicing badminton, I was sure that I wanted to play the sport. And I had decided that come what may, I'm going to be a badminton player. So there was a time in my career when, I wasn't doing so well. So, and I had just changed my school. So, new atmosphere, new everything. And that's when, for once in my life, that was the only time I felt that I don't want to play badminton. I want to switch my sport and play some other sport. But then my mother told me that we have invested so many years in you. If you want to play, you can play badminton or you don't play any. So I had decided, okay, I'll give it a shot at studying. I'll try if I can study, but I couldn't. And then I realized that no, this is what I want to do. And that's how I got back to badminton. And I was firm that whatever I do, I'll be doing it in badminton.
And my second question is, what is your mother name and father name?
Their name. My mother's name is Swati and my father's name is Satish.
What are your values?
My values. So I function on a certain principles for myself in life. One of them being I would readily go to help anybody in need. So I follow service before self. That is one motto I strictly follow. And other things is just be honest, be dedicated, be disciplined. Being disciplined is the most important thing for me. So basics of life, what you call, is what I strictly follow for myself also.
Okay, thanks Didi for spending with us today.
Welcome.
Can I take Sunil next? Sunil, go ahead with your questions.
Yes, Didi. Can I ask Didi?
Yes.
Can I
Please.
start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Sunil. So the question I wanted to ask you is that in your life, like in this complete journey of yours till you are to being a successful badminton player, who was your biggest critic in your life? Like who never like demotivated you, which supported means like you kept that anger in yourself and you thought that I will show this person or something.
I
Is there
think
anyone like that?
Yes, I think my biggest critic has been my mother. As supportive as she has been a very big critic. But I think it has been in a good way. It has kept me motivated to do what I want and not exactly prove to her that she's wrong, but to prove to myself that I am capable of this and I can achieve it if I am hell bent on what I want to do and adamant that I want to achieve this. I think my mother has been one of those people.
Thank you, ma'am. That was satisfying. But my next question is that, ma'am, if anyone would ask you about the best incident of your life, what would that first incident that would come into your mind in this whole journey of yours? The best incident.
As a kid, I remember that I was unwell. I was down with fever, so my mother didn't take me for practice for a day. But then the next day, I said that if you don't take me, I'm not going to have my medicines. I'm not going to eat. So she said, okay, we'll just go. We'll sit there for a bit and come back. But when I went there, I went in casual clothes. But when I went there, I said, I can't just sit outside. I want to play, please. So my sir said, okay, I'll make you play a little. And that's one thing that really comes to me as a good memory, or even now as a senior that I have been playing. In terms of coaching, the first tournament that I was traveling with my kids and when they did really well, as a coach, I was for them. So that was a good memory for me as well.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That's it,
All
Didi.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maithili, can you go next?
Yes. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
So my questions for you.
Yes.
So you have competed with many other countries, right? So when you had competed with other countries, how would you feel? You were an Indian, and how would you felt? How?
Definitely, it's a pleasure when you are playing for a country, your own country, and representing your country at the international level. And you always have that competitive nature where you think, I don't want to lose to this player or the player from this country. So that competitiveness is a really good thing that brings out the best in you. And I think it's always a pleasure to play for your country.
Okay, my next question is, so your last match was the Turfana Das, right? So
Yes,
I heard that you had lost your match. So how had
yes.
you felt when you lost that match? Did you want to do more matches?
So that match I played exactly a year ago. I played that on 30th of November last year. And that was the international tournament in Lucknow. And we were the only two Indians left in that tournament. So that was a very good feeling. And about that match, it was the closest that I've ever, had a match with Rituparna. And I think I lost the third game 21-19. So till 19 all, it was neck to neck. So after losing out by just 2 points, I definitely was feeling really bad that I could come this far and I was on the losing end. But a lot of positives being, it was a really good match. It was a good tournament for me. And had I won that, maybe I would have been the only Indian in the tournament. But definitely, it was a really good match and a good motivation for me.
All right. Maithili, I'm hoping that you've done.
Ma'am,
Uh, Maithili, your voice is breaking. Can you put it on the chat box? Can I tag Amulya to go next?
First of all, thank you, ma'am, for spending your time with us. I am Amulya. Question from my side is that what kind of advices you would give us to achieve in our life?
Basics to achieve whatever in your life would be you need to be passionate about it. Once you are passionate about it, you're going to automatically work towards it without, having any kind of pressure or force that I have to do this even if I don't like it. That shouldn't be the case. So I would always say you should go for something that you're passionate about. Then the basic things follow. You have hard work, you have determination, you have dedication, you have discipline. So all these things are the surrounding factors. But the main thing I would always say is always follow what you're passionate about and just don't do something because you're asked to or expected to do it, or because somebody says that you are smart and you have to do this. But if you don't like it, I don't think you should be doing.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. Can I tag Romika next? Romika, go ahead with your questions.
Okay, Didi. Hi, ma'am. I'm Romika. My question to you is, who is your role model?
My role model and my inspiration, my motivation, my everything has been my coach, who has been there for me through everything. I have probably spent more time with him in the last 10 years as much as I may have spent with my parents. So I always grew up looking at him. I'm pretty much what I am because of him. He has shaped me not just into a very good player, but also into a very good person. So he has always been my inspiration, motivation, role model, everything.
Okay, ma'am.
Great. Maithili was asking, Maithili, who shared earlier, was asking on the chat that what are some of the advices when you give when they face hurdles. So how do you kind of tackle difficult situations is what she's asking.
Okay. So I think in every aspect of life, you are going to face some or the other hardships, some obstacles, because nothing in life is going to come easy to you. So, you just have to believe in yourself and, just know that come what may, you can do it, and you have to stick to it and keep trying, because until you keep trying, you don't know how far you can go and what you can achieve. So you just have to be dedicated and keep to it, keep at it, and keep trying is the best thing that you can do.
Thank you. Pravalika, can you go ahead with the questions?
This is my first question. What made you choose badminton?
Like I said, I started it as a recreation sport, which I started. That was the only sport I started going to coaching. Before that, I used to do gymnastics, but I think I found badminton more interesting and more fun, and so that's how I stuck to the sport and started playing badminton and thought that I would be able to make a career in this.
This is my next question. Ever you became a badminton player, did you got a feeling like, why did I choose this way in my life?
Uh, just that once when I was in the 8th standard, I just felt like changing sports. But I was glad that I came back because I take it in the positive way that why did I take badminton? It's good that I took badminton because I'm so passionate about it, and I'm really glad that I didn't leave the sport and I continued with it.
This is my next question. Was your whole family supportable to you or your only mom?
No, my dad, my mom have been definitely very supportive, and not just them, the other members of the family also have. There have been certain times when, my mom felt that I should think about playing or I should focus a little more on my studies, but my dad was always very supportive and he always felt that if this is what I want to do, I should do it. Maybe I take a few years to be successful or achieve what I want to, but he believed in me that I would do good in this. And he said that if I want to do it, he was always there to support me, even when on some days my mother wouldn't.
That's it, Didi. Didi, thank you for coming here and answering our questions. Thank you a lot.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yamini, you would like to ask her a question, right? Could you go ahead? Yeah. Yamini, I guess you're on mute. Yeah, you can ask.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Yami, and I wanted to ask you a question. Ma'am, what's the secret of your energy and what's your diet? Because when you're playing badminton, you need to stay very fit and you need to have a lot of energy. What's the secret of these two
Right.
things?
So, as a kid, my diet used to be eat as much as I can. I need to eat a lot to become stronger. But as we grew older and new technologies and everything started coming in, for us athletes, one thing that we need to stop is sugar. So I try to follow that a lot. No sugar, no sweets, no dessert, and definitely no junk food, no fried food is what we follow. So I think I have been trying to follow that at least. There are some days when we have cheat days, but yeah, that's the basic thing. And if you are healthy, you eat well, your mind stays well, your body stays well, you're automatically going to be energetic.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering my question. I'm very glad and very happy for talking.
My pleasure.
Can I have Mohan go next? Mohan,
Yes,
Mohan,
Didi.
yeah, go next.
So, hello, ma'am. Thank you for coming and interacting with us today. It's pleasure having with you. So, my first question is that did someone criticized you that you can't play? You are not worth of this game like that.
I don't think I ever got that kind of criticism that I can't play or I'm not made for this sport. But when we all have a bad tournament or a bad match, everybody's like your near and dear ones are definitely going to tell you that maybe you should think over it whether you really want to play. Are you capable of it, or do you think you can play at this level? that kind of criticism I think comes for everybody. One bad thing, one bad day you have, or a bad tournament. But I think it's just for the moment and not that really that someone means it that you can't play. So that criticism is a part of the game for sure.
Yes, ma'am. My another question: did you feel happy when an opponent with playing with you opponent wins that match?
It can't be complete happiness, but the only happiness that you can get would be that you gave a good fight, you played your best, and even after that, if you couldn't win, I think that is a satisfaction, or just where you think, okay, my opponent was really good, but I tried my best. That was all I could do. So it is okay that I couldn't win today, but I know what I have done, and I tried to the best of my capabilities.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for interacting with us, ma'am.
Thank you.
Nandini, go next. Yes, Nandini.
Hi, Nandini. Hi, Didi. I'm Nandini from 9th class. So I'm so excited to talk with you. Thank you for attending the session and interacting with us. So my first question to ask you are, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
Okay. So, as a player, as a person, I think my strengths would be that I am always ready to help anybody in need. I try to be there as much as I can, train the kids to the best of my capabilities. I don't like to give up or stop trying. I like to function on the path of dedication, which keeps me going every day. And weaknesses, I would say, is sometimes I might go into a spiral where I think I'm not good enough, or I start doubting myself and don't have enough of self belief. But I have worked on it, and I'm still working on it with my psychologist. So I'm trying to overcome that.
My next question, Didi.
Yes.
When did you start playing badminton?
I started at the age of 6.
So my last question, what is your memorable day, Didi?
A lot of them definitely. Like as a kid, I had different good memories. As I was playing in my playing career, I had different. As a coach, I do have different memories. But as a player, I would say that with all the hardships and what I was expected to achieve a while ago, I could do that a year ago when I played my first singles nationals final. That was one of the very good and satisfactory moments for me.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you for attending the class and thank you for answering the.
My pleasure.
I'm going to tag Deepika next. Deepika, could you go ahead with your questions?
This is Deepika from 9th. Thank you so much for.
Deepika, we're not able to hear you.
And I am lucky to.
Yeah. Deepika, your voice is breaking. Could you put it on the chat box, whatever the question you have? I will take it up next with ma'am. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Can Srikshita go next? Srikshita.
Hello, ma'am. So my name is Srikshita. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
So my question is that
Srikshita, you're on mute. Can you come off mute?
sorry, Didi.
Yeah.
So my question is, which was the first prize did you won, and at which age did you earn the prize?
I think I was really small when I won some tournament, but very vividly I remember that I won my first tournament in the under 10 category. So I must be 8 or 9 years old when I won the district championship. So that's what I very vividly remember.
And my second question is, which was your happiest moment in your life?
My happiest moment was I was working at an IT firm, which I wasn't very keen on working, but the day I resigned and moved into coaching was my happiest day, because I knew that I would be able to focus more on the sport, and coaching was more of what I wanted to do, because I love interacting with the kids and I'm really good with them, and I always wanted to do something in badminton. So that was probably my happiest moment of late.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So the question that I see on the chat box, right? So what are the benefits? What are some of the pros and cons of choosing sports as a career? So that is one of the questions that had come up. Yeah, if you can answer that.
Okay. So the good part about choosing a sport is you are probably doing what you love. I'm sure that in our, in our country especially, or our generation, where it is that not many parents are going to force you into sport. So I'm sure that's definitely going to be a passion behind that. You are going to be disciplined, you're going to be constantly at it, you're going to be fit always, because you're going to, keep at it, be doing gym, do ground training, whatever, when it comes to sport. And I always believe that people in sport or have a wider practical and very logical aspect, or a way to look at life as compared to, I'm not saying that people who aren't into sport don't do that, but it's a very natural thing for the players, because they have a lot of exposure, they travel a lot, they meet new people every day, they have a lot of exposure that puts them one step ahead. In my aspects, in my thinking, is what you would say could be the pros of playing sport. And the cons would be you don't get to party a lot, you don't get to go out with your friends a lot, you have to be very disciplined, you have a routine to life, you have to be constantly at it. But I think it's fair enough if you can definitely have a certain off days, but those who could be the reasons. And yeah, that's what I think.
Great, thank you so much for answering that. Deepika is asking that what are some of the small motivations that maybe there are so many ups and downs that you face, and what keeps motivated, what keeps you motivated what keeps you going every day, right? What are some of the tips and tricks that you can give these students as well?
So yeah, it can be a little demotivating when you have to get up at 5 a.m. every day, but if you have one thing in mind, if you have a goal clear, if you set yourself a certain goal and you want to achieve it, I think you'd automatically go to it. You wouldn't want to have an off day. But small goals, small motivations can be, practice sessions, you achieve small goals, or in practice sessions, you beat a certain player in practice sessions, you learn something new, or you have, you get some appreciation back. When someone appreciates you, that's the biggest motivation for me. That is something that is going to keep going. And if you don't have somebody else to motivate or appreciate you, I think you can do that for yourself. Small appreciations, you can say small treats for yourself. You can, like you say, if I achieve this in the next 5 days, I can treat myself with something. That would definitely keep you going and really be helpful, because setting very long-term goals isn't very ideal. When you have short goals, or small-term goals, you constantly have something to work towards or look forward to, so that is definitely going to keep you motivated.
Thank you so much for sharing. Can I tag Nandachari next? He had a question.
First of all, thank you, Didi, for attending this session to interact with us. My question is, what are the situations that made you stop playing for badminton for some days?
Yeah, so like I said, I changed my school and I wasn't doing really well in badminton. I had moved up to an higher age category where I wasn't doing really well and I wasn't happy with that. And then I started playing table tennis for a while because my cousin brother used to play. So I really felt that maybe I should give this a shot. I'd be good at it. It was some time then that I had lost faith in myself, and I didn't just feel like playing badminton probably because I wasn't doing well and I didn't have that motivation to even try or work harder and try to get better. That was one of the main reasons I didn't want to play badminton for whatever that duration I didn't play.
Thank you, Didi, for answering my.
Great. Also, something that came up when we were discussing about today's space yesterday was the role of women in sports, right? So, how easy was it, or how hard was it for women to, enter into the sports field? Did you face any challenge as a woman? Who did somebody come across telling you that you cannot play, and you have to, you're physically weak, and there are so many things that we keep hearing on a day-to-day basis. So what was that challenge like?
So it is very natural that you're not going to be pushed too much as a girl or as a woman to take up sport as a career, because in our country, that studies is first, and if you're a girl, you study, you finish graduation, and then you have marriage on your head. So with that, it definitely was a little difficult, and they'd say you do a job. Even jobs for girls have been really open as of now in the last few years, but earlier you just study, you get married was the thing. So taking up a sport was a little challenging, but like I said, since I had my family with me, it wasn't that difficult for me. But you have sponsorship issues, you have age issues where a lot of sponsors would say you're too old, you're at the end of your career, we wouldn't like to sponsor you, is one issue. Yeah, being physically weak is not a very big issue for us, but yeah, on some terms it is a thing that you're not strong enough. Or like, why would you want to choose this as a career path if you have no certainty to life, you don't have any, as a profession, you don't have a fixed income, so it's better, you should do a job, you can settle in life. The mentality of the people is with sport you cannot settle in life, it's not that easy. So keeping those things aside, I think I was very firm that if I do something, I'm going to have a career in sport. And just playing isn't a career. You can do a lot of things with that. You be a coach, you be a trainer, you can be a nutritionist, you can be a physiotherapist. So a lot of options have been opening up now for everybody, and it's really good to see a lot of female athletes taking this up and standing up for themselves as a group, and proving that it's not that just men can pull up a sport as a profession, but women also can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anjali, can you go ahead with your questions? Anjali 10th standard. Okay. Sairaj, go ahead. Okay. Okay. Sairaj, go ahead with your question.
Good morning, ma'am, and I'm thanking you for being here and spending a specific time with us. And the question which I'm going to ask is, on a scale on 5, and on a scale on 5, how much can you rate on yourself and why?
Okay, so I think I would go for a 3.54 for myself, just on the terms of, I am determined to what I want to do. I am just still, after playing for about 20 years now, I'm still passionate for the sport. I have the same dedication. I still get up with the same motivation every day in the morning. I definitely have a few off days when I don't feel like doing something, or like I don't want to play today, I don't feel like playing, I don't feel like training, or I don't feel like getting up. But again, at the end of the day, I know that that's what keeps me going. So, yeah.
Yeah. Anjali, can you go next?
Yes, Didi. Hello, ma'am. I'm Anjali. So, the question that I want to ask you was, ma'am, why do you think the badminton can only be your profession and why not other sportive games?
I started playing badminton, so I started coaching for badminton, so I kept at it and I started liking it. So that's the sport I thought I would want to play, and I continued.
Um, Second question that I want to ask was, ma'am, at any point did you feel that I would have taken up another profession, and why did I took up this profession?
No, I don't think I ever felt that, because badminton was what I really liked, and I wouldn't want to try. I didn't try any other sport, and some other profession in the like related to studies, I wasn't quite interested in. So that was the last thing I think I would have done.
Okay, ma'am. And the next question I want to ask is, ma'am, what is the one thing in this game made you decide yourself that I will be able to do this for sure?
I think I was always ready for hard work. So I was always open to learning new things and just being there and trying it out. So that's how I felt that if I keep trying, I'd probably be able to do it.
Okay, ma'am. And the last question is, what are the new strengths and weaknesses that you identified in yourself after you went to this profession, badminton?
Okay, so after I started coaching, I did realize that the way I try to help the kids out is the same thing I can use for myself, and that I don't need to have a coach with me always, because now I know that when I'm teaching, I can apply that to myself. So that was one realization that I had once I started coaching the kids.
Thank you, ma'am, for interacting with us and spending your time with us.
Thank you.
Also, I also would like to ask a follow-up question to this. I think a lot of the students here are not interacted with. Some of them like sports, some of them do like playing cricket, some of them do like playing badminton. But they are, what is some kind of how do they start interacting with sport? How do they keep going with it? What is the first intervention like? That as a teacher I can create for them, and as as individuals they can actually look out for, is something that if you can share about.
So playing outdoors and spending less time on gadgets is one thing that is very important for the kids nowadays to realize, which is not as much happening. And maybe in school, you can have a separate, games period or a PT period where everybody, come what may, maybe twice a week, they all come together and play some sport, whatever they like, but they should start playing.
Okay, thank you so much. Can I have Sairaj ask his question? Rohan or Sairaj? Yeah.
Okay, Didi.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, one more question. Till the journey where you came now, are you satisfied with it, or you want to improve it more?
Definitely, I'd want to keep moving forward, and a player shouldn't ever be satisfied with what they have achieved, because once you are satisfied, I don't think you will have the same motivation to keep working and moving forward. So I think you should always want to keep improving and moving ahead.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Maithili or Akshaya? Akshaya. Akshaya, go ahead.
Hey, Didi.
Hello.
You want to be a badminton, na? It's your mother's wish or your own wish.
I think when I was at 6, I didn't really understand, but because they put me into it, I started playing it, and after that, it has been my choice to continue the sport.
Do you have any other questions?
If you're not badminton, what is your profession?
I have no idea what I would have done if I wouldn't be playing, because I think ever since I started playing, I knew I wanted to play, and then as a kid, I had decided that I'd play this, I'd do this as my career. So I didn't really think about something else that I would have done if not this.
Thank you. Thank you, Akshaya and Maithili. Can I have Jatin go next? Jatin, you can go ahead with your question.
Hello, ma'am. I am Jatin. So the question I want to ask you is, who is your inspirable badminton player? Which player do
Sorry?
you like?
Can you repeat, please?
Whom do you like the most best player, badminton player?
Okay, so my two favorite players are Carolina Marin and Tai Tzu. So it's really they are whom I look forward to.
What is the biggest failure in your life?
What is the
Biggest failure in your life?
I wouldn't call something as a biggest failure, but you know, many tournaments where I couldn't do well, or you know, didn't live up to the expectations, or didn't achieve what I had set for myself, are all under that bracket that count as failures for me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have Romika go next? She had another question.
Okay, Didi. Ma'am, what you learned in badminton?
So my life practically revolved around badminton. So that was what I did. Eat, sleep, badminton is what I used to do, and I still do. So whatever I have learned is mostly because of badminton. The determination, you need to be dedicated, you need to be disciplined, you have to follow certain principles in life, you need to respect others, respect your opponent. All that I have learned through badminton.
Maithili had another question. Maithili, go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. So, how were your opponents when you were playing? Did they help you, or they were on fire on you?
In the match, during the match, nobody definitely is going to help you. But off court, we are definitely friends, and we do try to help each other off court. But when we are playing each other, we are rivals. So on court, during a match, nobody is going to help. So when we are on court, yes, we are on fire, and when we are off court, we try to be friends.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Sunil had another question. Sunil, did you have another question that I forgot to tag you?
Yes, the question I had was that, ask Dede, shall I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so they now in this time where people mostly prefer like sports in India, like cricket, mostly people prefer. So how important was it to motivate yourself to bring up on badminton?
So when we were kids, cricket for girls wasn't much of a thing, and not many actually pursued it as a career. I did play it for fun, but since I was coaching for badminton, I was learning badminton. I was always inclined to badminton, and that's how I chose badminton over any other sport.
But also, to ask a follow-up question to this, I think definitely you must have heard people say, not, because cricket is a very popular sport in our country, and there must be incidents wherein, badminton is also there, but there are so many underrated sports, right, that are there. And so what's your take on this? Like, what suggestion would you give students and us, to actually look out for as an individual who are looking out for different options? So what is something that we have to be keen about when we're selecting a sport for our own interest?
So yeah, our country has been pretty cricket dominant, and that's the sport where we have achieved a lot and most things there. But now with other sports coming up, other sports opening up, and all the athletes all over the sports are doing well, all over other sports are doing well. Kids do have look forward to that maybe I can go for this, because I think badminton wasn't so popular until China won the Olympic bronze, and after that, everybody started to say, okay, we can try this also. This is a good sport. We can have a career in this. So it's not just that cricket is the only option now, but we do have cricket, tennis, table tennis. I think a lot of sports, even athletics, wrestling, a lot of sports have opened up. So it's definitely about the inclination you have and towards a particular sport, but yeah, you do have a lot of options now to choose from.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to tag Vikas Hemant for their question. Go ahead.
Hi Didi, thank you for coming to our classroom. I am Hemant from 10th standard. What are the values which we can learn from the sports?
Basic, most important things that you would learn is discipline and being determined, trying to always push yourself is what you will learn. But most important thing I think you will learn is discipline, and to also respect the others, try to help others out is what you learn from sport.
Thank you, Didi.
Welcome.
Rohan, go ahead. Go next.
Hi, ma'am. Can you tell is there a time where you didn't get a chance to play, and how did you felt at that moment? And also mention me how did you overcome out of it?
I think the only time I might not have got to play or not participated in a particular tournament would be because of injury or not sufficient practice. So if you are injured, we have to rest, go through rehab, and just get back stronger and get fit. But not not being able to participate because of enough practice in itself is a motivation that I need to work harder and then be better prepared to play the next tournament.
Thank you. Amulya, can you go next with your question?
Ma'am, like how did your
Amulya, we're not able to hear you. Can you speak up? You are on mute, Amulya.
Sorry, Didi.
Yeah, go ahead.
How did your passion help you, ma'am?
I think my passion just made it easier for me to choose my career and keep going at it. Had it not been my passion, it would have really been difficult to put in all that hard work or stay enough motivated. So I think it is important to have your passion as your career.
Thank you, ma'am.
Maithili also had another question. Maithili? Go ahead. Yeah. Maithili, are you?
If you
Yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
if you want to choose a profession as Batman, what should we do to?
Okay. So I'm guessing that your question is if you would like if they have to choose the profession as their profession as a badminton, what is something that they have to do?
Hard work. That's the only solution or only option that you would have. You need to work hard and be dedicated to what you do.
Okay, thank you.
Great. All right. So I think we have come to the end of the session, and thank you so much for being here with us today. I think there are so many things that we're learning, not just about the sports, but also about what values that a sports individual should have, and what are some of the challenges, and how did you go about actually handling all of those challenges, and we've learned a great deal about all of that. Thank you so much for your for taking time and inspiring all of our students. Yeah, I think I would hand over the session to Mansi. Thank you, Mansi.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. It was done really well, and I hope the students learned a lot. And even for me personally, Shruti, I think the biggest takeaway has been that you need short-term goals every day that line up towards your long-term goals, because in your everyday you can tend to lose the sight of the bigger goal. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
It's been my pleasure. It was really good interacting. It was a great session, and thank you for having me.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Didi, for coming to our class.
It's been my pleasure, and I wish you all the best and hope you achieve whatever you are looking forward to, and all of you do good.
Thank you, Didi.
Yeah, I was just wondering, since we do have 4 minutes left, if the students want to say anything to Shruti, they can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here.
Yeah, guys, feel free to come off mute and share or ask anything. How are you feeling right now, and what is something that you're taking away from the session? Also, you can go ahead and mention. We're all here to listen, and I think we have 4 more minutes to actually spare. So go ahead.
Didi, I have a question, Didi.
Yes.
Whenever you won the match, no, Didi, how many times you won the matches?
I don't think I have any track record of it, but the main motive is to try and win as many matches as I can. So I don't have a count of that.
Okay, Didi. Thank you, Didi.
Didi,
Yes.
can I ask you a small question?
Yes, please.
Till now, how many matches you have done?
I'm not really sure about that, but I have now, since I've been playing for 20 years, so there has been a lot of matches that I have surely played, but I think around in a year we do end up playing about 12 to 15 tournaments, so that's maybe around 50 60 matches a year.
Nandachari, you raised your hand. Would you like to share?
Where are you now?
Sorry?
Where are you now, Didi?
I'm in Pune.
Ma'am, it's great interacting with you. I learned one thing, that is how to overcome our failures and how to show hard work.
Yeah, that's what is going to keep you going in life. So a basic thing that, without hard work, you cannot get anywhere, and nothing in life is going to come easy. So whatever you choose, you have to keep working towards it.
Didi, do you have best friends?
Yes, I have a very few friends, and yes, I do have two best friends.
Can you name them, Didi?
One of them is Tanushka. She also plays with me.
Yeah, Rohan, you raised your hand.
So one of the main thing which I have learned today is we should first believe in ourselves to do whatever we want and also be more passionate in doing anything and also first we should it should come from us and there should be support. If there is no support also we should overcome and like our ma'am did and we should be successful in our life.
Yes, see, once you are dedicated and passionate about something, you are automatically going to be successful in life. So those are the two things that you have to have, and I think the rest is all taken care of.
Didi, can I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
As we all watch in our class, like 90% of our boys, we watch cricket. But from after talking to you and after interacting, I think that we should also like motivate badminton and other sports. Like if we do like that, we can get more wonderful players like you. Thank you, Didi. It was
My
really
pleasure.
wonderful interacting with you personally.
Great. All right, guys. I think we've come to the end of the session, right? Mansi, would you like to say something? Yeah.
No, I think we can close it. The kids had a great close to it. I'm really happy, especially that everyone should watch different sports so that they're more aware of it. I think that's
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. All right, guys. Then, Mansi, do they have to fill in any form? Do they have to stay there?
you can send them the same link. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp and they can do it.
Sure.
Wait.
Fine. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Then all of you can drop off the call. You can keep. I'll end the call. I'll wait for 5 minutes if you still have any other questions or anything that you would like to share. Otherwise, you can definitely leave the call. Yeah.
Thank you, Didi. I would like to leave the call. Bye, Didis.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Mansi ma'am, what are your hobbies?
What are my hobbies? My hobby is to lead on education and create such spaces for all.
Thank you, ma'am. It's pleasure meeting you. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'ams.
Bye.
Thank you for spending with us your most valuable time.
It's my pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a great pleasure to talk with you and listen to you. And I am also a girl like you, Didi, who is very emotionally not strong. But I'll overcome, as you told me. Thank you very much. And you are my motivation from now.
My pleasure.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you for coming to our class.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Didis.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Didis.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Didis. Thank you for interacting, Didi.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Who is your role model, Didi?
I can't hear you.
Who is your role model in your life?
My role model is actually Varsha ma'am. You know the lady who wrote the book Wonder Girls? Hello. Varalakshmi, you're on mute.
Yeah. Pallavi, were you sharing something?
Didi,
Yeah, Pallavi.
what Didi?
Who's speaking? Pavani or Pallavi?
Pallavi Didi.
Okay, yes, Pallavi, tell me. You asked Mansi Didi who is her role model. She said her role model is Varsha Didi, the person who had written the Wonder Girls book. You've seen the Wonder Girls book, right? Okay, I think I'll tell her, Mansi. I'm sorry. I think my internet has there's some problem with my connection. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. I think she's left. She left, right? So Pallavi was asking your motivation. That is what I was actually.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
I'll explain her later. All right, then I think we can end the call. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Bye, Didi. Bye, Didi.
Bye.